ahead, bud.
All right, my name is Earl Hayes. I train and work up here at Total Fitness Center in Howell, Michigan Barbell. I did the Grand Rapids show earlier this year. I was a heavyweight, weighed in at about 212. Wasn't in condition. Biggest I've been on stage. My goal was to get up to heavyweights, but obviously with conditioning being my issue so far and putting the time into contest prep, it's just sort of been an ongoing learning experience for me. So we're down to 11 days until the Central States show. Yeah.
So what was your prep like getting ready for this show, bud, as opposed to your other one?
It was similar to the other ones. I mean, since my Grand Rapids show, I've maintained a pretty, what you consider more of a lean bulk since then. Like I said, I weighed in at about 212 at that show, weighing 224 to anywhere between 224 and 228 right now. And really, so my weight hadn't really fluctuated much from, with on-stage weight and then, off-season weight. Once I was done with the Grand Rapids show, my weight went back into the mid-220s. So really, the weight honestly hasn't really fluctuated much at all. It's been more slow fat loss, slow cutting. And then doing the Central States was not a last-minute decision, but with it being a local show, I live down in Ann Arbor still. With it being in Ypsilanti, it's a lot more convenient not having to travel, not having to get a hotel, and especially the expenses that go with that. With only having the entry fee being my only expense, there's a little influence there. And with, my physique, I'm not going to be necessarily the best I could possibly be, but I'm the best that I've been up to this point in my life. And I just enjoy the hell out of competing and getting on stage. So just getting the opportunity to have a show that's local and, be able to at least bring the best physique that I have up to this point, that's an accomplishment in itself for myself.
So. You said this is the most you've weighed and the leanest you've been at that way?
This I've never in my life weighed 230. So a couple weeks ago was the most I had weighed, actually at 228.6 was the highest weight I've weighed in my life. So really I'm within a couple pounds of the max weight I've ever been. So like I said, that's been some of the, the drive behind wanting to, at least bring the best physique that I can to Centrals, because I know that, with me being the best that I have been so far, it's, every show's a learning experience, and, ultimately I'll, take a lot from this show and then apply it to the next one. And as long as I'm improving show by show, I'm a pretty happy camper.
Okay, go ahead and take us through your workout today, buddy, and the different movements and what you like about each movement.
I did shoulders, which is a tiny bit of biceps today. I did the back. I actually had wanted to do back for this workout, but I'd done back just 2 days ago, so wasn't able to do that. I do, obviously getting closer to a show, I concentrate more on volume as opposed to heavy weight. I've never been one that throws around a ton of weight. Not that I'm not capable of it. It's just that I train for really feeling the pump of the muscle, really feeling the fullness. And the best way for myself to effectively feel that has been a lot of volume training, a lot of 15, 20 rep sets, lowering the weight, really working on the range of motion, supersets, the time under tension, really changing things up workout to workout. Today I did I do a lot of lateral work to really try to bring the cap out on the delts. My favorite one for those would be definitely behind the back. Laterals on the cables. I've actually gotten a little bit more into cables than dumbbells with shoulders, just because a little bit of tendonitis in my right elbow has caused a little bit of pain when I've been doing some laterals. So doing it on the cables helps control that a little bit. I always do some sort of military press on shoulder day. Usually it's on a Smith machine. We did about 4 or 5 sets on that. I do about 4 or 5 sets really on any given exercise. It's not always usually consecutive. For example, sometimes I'll do, if I was doing a behind the back lateral raise, I may then go into a front raise before I do the next set of laterals. Though ultimately, each individual exercise usually will end up with about at least 4 sets, and each set, the lowest amount of reps I did today was 10 reps per set. So really nothing gets below 10 reps per set.
Okay. And you said you change your workouts, or your workouts are never really planned. You just kind of go by the feel.
I know what muscle group I'm going to be working that day. I'm very observant to my physique. I am always trying to find the weak points, find what areas need to be worked on. So for shoulder day, I come in obviously wanting to work all 3 of the deltoid heads. And if while I'm working out, I feel that the fronts are getting real pumped up and looking real full, I may change the tail end of the workout to cater more towards the lateral and the rear delts as opposed to the front. And I feel like that's just, at least for me, it's been the most beneficial for really developing a very balanced overall physique. For me as well, it also, I don't get much enjoyment out of reading a workout off of a list. For myself, part of the fun for being in the gym and enjoying my time here is figuring stuff out that day. I come into a gym not knowing necessarily what exercises I'm doing, and that's, to me, that's not for everybody, obviously, but to me, that's some of the enjoyment behind it, and figuring stuff out that day. It sort of keeps me guessing, even though I'm the one figuring it out. Ultimately, it adds a little bit of an excitement there and a little bit of an unknown. So, sometimes I feel like that can help you from feeling like you're just going through the motions. You're just going through a typical routine, and sometimes help you maybe put a little bit extra effort in there because you're not already prepping yourself maybe for an exercise that you don't necessarily enjoy that's written on the list beforehand.
Gotcha. So you don't have a sports background, but tell us how you got in the industry and what you enjoy about it.
In high school, I did track and lacrosse. I didn't play hockey for the high school, but hockey is something I played my whole life. Was always naturally very lean. I was about 150-ish pounds when I graduated high school, at this same height. Good muscle definition, but just very lean. And then I got into a weightlifting class, I believe I was 17, and that was probably the specific memory that I have that really sort of switched a little bit of the switch in my head that I wanted to at least get in the gym more often. I actually went to bench press and struggled very hard with 95 pounds. So it was sort of eye-opening for me because I had just seen football players and some of the other guys in high school always put on the 45-pound plate. And with not being a guy that really been in the gym that much, I just thought that was sort of the standard that everybody did. And I had a rude awakening when I got in the gym and realized I was not near as strong than I necessarily thought. So that started it, and then 3 or 4 days in the gym a week became more serious, to where then I started taking diet seriously, to then I'm like, well, maybe I want to try bodybuilding, because once I was in college, I was a computer science major before I changed over to exercise science. I have a very strong techie nerd background, but I didn't want to spend my entire life in a cubicle, so that was sort of the adjustment of ultimately what I decided to do as a career, and that sort of brought me to where I am today. And now, bodybuilding is, a big part of my life. So, it's my hobby, it's my sport. With being a personal trainer and managing a gym up here, it obviously coincides and, obviously reflects well on me being a trainer, that, I'm out here doing the stuff that if I'm coaching somebody, I've been through the same pain, I've been through the same exercises. So, when I'm coaching somebody, I feel like I can effectively give them something to do, knowing that it's something that I've done myself, and if I feel like it's effective, or feel like if it's beneficial for, say, what they want to do. Obviously bodybuilding is for everybody. You got to really, I feel like, have a passion for wanting to be in the gym and just enjoy this kind of stuff. bodybuilding doesn't pay my bills and doing the contest doesn't pay the bills, but it's nice to have an ultimate sort of goal or end point to all the effort and the work that you put in the gym. So,
Good deal. And this is on your second year competing?
yeah, this is my second year. I did the Grand Rapids earlier this year, and then last year I did my first ever show was the Lansing show. I did second there. There wasn't many people in that show at all. The show after that was the Kalamazoo. I got top 5 there, and then I did the Ron Love. I did 3 shows within about a 2-month period, which is definitely learning experience / mistake. The Ron Love, I actually was last, placed 10th out of 10 in my class, deservedly so. But like I said, it's a great learning experience. Every show you do, I mean, I enjoy myself. First, last, I have fun just getting on stage, and like I said, having an ultimate endpoint to sort of all this effort that you put into the gym, being able to display it and be proud of what you've done on stage is, it's very enjoyable. Like I said, I love just getting to be on stage. I enjoy prep. Dieting doesn't honestly bother me too much. I enjoy really the whole sort of process. I enjoy just being able to do this. There's a lot of people that aren't physically capable of getting the chance to even be able to do something like this. So getting that kind of opportunity, having the ability, being able to work where I am now and have the support, friends and family like I do, I feel very blessed and happy to have what I do at my disposal. So,
If someone wants to reach you, buddy, or has any questions, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
you can contact me through email, ehayes@gmail.com. So it's just ehayes, HAYES, trainer @gmail.com.